name is Carson Norwood. I am a senior at Arkansas Tech. I'm a psychology major with a minor in rehab science. And I think of pretty superficial things typically when I think of a bucket list. I feel like people, they want to travel to a specific place or read this many books or, see this many different places. I think it's just, just the things you want to accomplish before, you get old and can't.
I'm Alexis Johnson, and I teach communication, but specifically I focus on health communication and dark side of communication. So end-of-life conversations, talking about terminal illness, mental illness, disabilities, those sorts of things. There's a whole lot of research that shows that end-of-life conversations help with coping, help us to basically say goodbye and have that closure. So another part of it is just we move from this idea of hope. So hope for a good life turns into hope for a good death is essentially what we talk about when we talk about those final stages of life.
I think for me it'd probably be a more practical thing. I think, don't get me wrong, I think romanticizing your life can be fun and it can make you want to set out to do things that you maybe wouldn't do in everyday life. But sometimes I think you get so caught up in that you don't take time to enjoy the little things that may happen that aren't necessarily on your list but are still, worth accomplishing or achieving. So I think for me it'd probably be the more practical things. I think I would find more fulfillment in something like that. So the practical side for me would be finish grad school, get my license for counseling, become LPC, open a private practice, get married, have kids. Move out of state. That would be some things that I think I would like to accomplish that I think are practical things that I think doing those sets me up for more long-term fulfillment because they're things that are going to affect me for the rest of my life. When it comes to the more romanticizing thing, I think that would probably be, I would like to go to Greece and I would like to read, so many books or so many classics or, just different things like that, which there's nothing wrong with that stuff. And I still do want to get to do that stuff. However, I think the more practical stuff affects you long term. I think me becoming a counselor and setting myself up for later in life, I'll feel more fulfilled by doing that than I will getting to go to Greece one time.
I think that that's why people who focus on this, trying to get people to think about what can you do with the time you have left and what can you accomplish that you've been wanting to accomplish, that helps people with that idea of regret at the end. Because I think a lot of us, we don't think about our life often. We don't have these, I don't think we all make these bucket lists or these ideas or we do and we never accomplish any of it. And so naturally those will be regrets, and then other things we didn't get to do in our lives are regrets. But if we can reframe that, especially for people who are at the end of their life, by having them try to accomplish some of the things they really want to do or are passionate about, I think that can help with some of the regrets at the end of life. I'm teaching a health communication class, and in that class, I make students write letters as if they were going to pass away, what they would want to say to loved ones, because we don't really think about it. If we're healthy and we don't have any physical ailments, we don't think about death because it's just something that we think it's so far away. Even though people can get sick or something can happen to anyone at any moment in their lives, we just don't think about it.
I don't really fear death, but I would like to die feeling like I lived the life I wanted to. Less so accomplish certain things and more just that I made a happy, comfortable life.
Orange tells me you're never coming home. If you leave today, I'll just stare at the way the orange touches all things around. The grass, trees, and dew, how I just hate you. Please turn those headlights around. Please turn those headlights around.